Hey everybody, welcome back to My Wings of Refuge. I'm excited today, y'all. This has been a project I've been wanting to do for quite a while, and this is something I finally got off my list. And I wanted to share it with you just in case you have a setup similar to mine and maybe you're looking for an idea also. So you might remember about a year ago, I did a video on climate control for my rabbits. And at the time, I hung blinds up here. Now, those blinds, I actually loved them a lot. They worked really well. But over the year, a couple things that I've noticed. Mine had the little strips of plastic, and those little strips would hang on my water bottles. So not the end of the world, but when I was lowering and raising them, sometimes it would knock off my water bottles. Not horrible. I could have moved my water bottles to the backside, but I like being able to walk out, keep an eye on my water bottles, know when they need to be refilled or refreshed or anything of that nature. So I wanted to keep my water bottles on the front, and they were more easily accessible. So I then decided to go a different route. And I went with these drapes. They're made for outdoors. They are a slightly heavier, though they're light fabric, but they're solid. So instead of having the louvers and the little plastic pieces all sewn together, this is one piece of fabric. And so I actually ended up doing a couple of panels because I needed the width. And they actually came a little too long. So this is how I fixed it. So now you'll see they're just tied back like my cabana drapes. And all I have to do now is when it rains or comes a storm and I want to protect my bunnies, all I have to do is just unloop them. And then they have bungees attached to the little holes we put in the bottom. And I just wrap that bungee around the post so they don't blow. And right now, I'm loving it. It doesn't take but a few minutes. Now, if we get a light rain here, I don't worry about them at all because they stay protected. I've got so much tree cover. There's a lot I don't have to worry about. The rabbits did great in the winter, and we had the coldest, hardest, snowiest winter that we've had in a really long time, and the rabbits did fantastic. And so I really am not worried about that. I love that this setup allows my rabbits to breathe and air out, so they're not getting a lot of like ammonia smell or anything of that nature. So I do love this setup, and this setup is working great for me. Now, as the leaves develop on the tree, since we're now in spring and they're starting to bud out, this hutch will be almost always completely shaded. They will get a little bit of early morning sun, and that's about it. But with the trees in the background there, that helps block. Plus there's like a really big hill, almost like a small mountain behind there. And so the wind is not really an issue unless it's a major storm. And so having these on the front side is really all that I have needed. And so, but I can always do more if I ever need to. So that is the good thing about this. And so, but this is what I've decided to go with. I love it. It's lightweight. It's white so that if the sun is shining, it doesn't heat up too much, but it's still breathable on the outside. This has worked great for me. If you're looking for an idea, maybe this will work for you. And it won't break the bank. So I love the concept of these weatherproof drapes that are for outdoors. But what I want to do is I want to pull these two panels together and I want to sew them in the middle to make one big panel. Then I can pull the one panel over to the side like this and still tie it back. But I'm thinking too, I'm going to add some little grommets or holes at the bottom so that I can attach them to the post for when the wind is blowing really hard. So let's get to work. So you may notice here I cheated a little bit. I have folded my fabric over twice, and then I've measured up 10 inches, and I'm going to actually use my rotary cutter, and I'm just going to go right across the top, and it'll be a perfect straight line. Ta-da! Okay, nothing real fancy here. I've just turned in about as much as I wanted to turn in after I cut off 10 inches off the bottom because they were so long. And then I've got a nice big hem here, and I've got a nice area for my grommet after I get done with this. But right now I'm just going to hem the bottom. Don't forget to back stitch. Yep, here we go. Ready to do our next piece? I literally sewed a straight line right along the seam here, just putting the two sides together, the front pretty sides together, and then sewed right down along that seam. So next we're going to take some of these eyelets, and you'll want to use this little tool kit too, and a hammer, and we're just going to put a little eyelet down here in this bottom corner. But I want to do this on a solid surface, so I am going to go outside on the cement to do that. So I'm going to take what's called the little anvil there. It kind of acts like the table that we're going to sit this part on. Oops. This part on. And we're just going to sit that right on top of there. Then we're going to place our fabric over it like this. Then we're going to place this part over the top. And we're going to put this right in the middle. And then hammer it on wherever you want it. So put your little gadget where you want it, on the underneath side on top of the anvil, and use your little sharp pointy nose scissors to go ahead and cut your fabric where you were going to put it. We have our anvil. We have the smooth piece there. We're just going to set it in. See, our fabric goes around the hole. We're just going to set this next piece right over the top. Okay, so we've got that in place, and now we're just going to put our setter on and hammer it in. This little part here. Now you just hammer. Ta-da! Ready to do the other end. Okay, so we have our one side complete. I'm liking it. We have plenty of width, and I went a hair long on the length, but that is okay because we have our little holes, our little grommet holes down at the bottom, and we will put a hook and some sort of a string or some sort on there. But in the meantime, we will just pull these back. We'll tie them up like drapes, and they'll just be pretty, similar to this end. But now we are going to take these down, and we're going to hem them across the bottom, and we're going to sew them down the middle, just like we did on this side. So the rains are coming today, and I went ahead and just closed my curtains. I've got babies being born today, and I don't want to take any chances of them getting damp or the wind blowing or anything, and this is so easy. I really like these tiny little bungees because they're really not seen at all. And I can still check everyone from the back side. Nessa delivered 10 beautiful, healthy babies this morning. She's such a good mama. I hope you enjoyed today's video, y'all. If you are looking for a little climate control for your rabbits, now you know kind of the pros and cons of what I had before and what I have now, and maybe something like this will help you. Y'all, I hope you have an excellent week. The weather is beautiful. We have so many babies here on the ground. We have little baby bunnies born this week. We've had lambs born this week. Our calves are doing amazing, and y'all, life is good. Stay focused on what is good out there. Turn off the news, turn off the media. listen to the Lord, listen to nature of what He provides for us, and it just has a way of erasing all the bad and the negative that's going on in the world, and just focus on what is true, what is good, what is pure, and everything will be so different. And so y'all, I encourage you today, have fun out there, enjoy life. There's a lot going on in the world, but that doesn't mean you can't enjoy life. Enjoy it, y'all. I'll see you next week.